Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Marketplace. Our headlines this Friday: Aboagye-Wiafe asking government to suspend implementation of new customs management system, citing challenges which may affect revenue. Also coming up, our Greek minister discloses country may need about 200,000 metric tons of warehousing capacity to achieve food security. How bad is the warehousing situation? We'll find out. Also, influx of substandard sanitizers on the market. FDA is going after offenders. Great to have you as company. We have details right after this break. Welcome back, everyone. In our first story this afternoon, Aboagye-Wiafe has once again petitioned the president to immediately suspend the implementation of the new integrated customs management system, also known as UNIPAS, and allow GCNet and WestBlue to carry on the operation. According to the civil society group, halting the operations of UNIPAS will enable the nation avoid revenue losses given the reduced trade activity due to the outbreak of coronavirus. There have been media reports that clearing agents and freight forwarders are having challenges using the new system to clear their goods at the Takoradi and other ports. Now, founding president and chief executive of Imani, Franklin Kujo, who signed the petition to the president, spoke to Joy Business.
Implemented, or they have brought upon, or the government has decided to use, but they haven't come forth, and I get worried that the challenges we are having to see with the system itself do not bode well for trade facilitation, and which is why we keep reminding the president when we hear the challenges that are coming from the various ports as well. So it's become like a broken record, and it's also become quite worrying. Ghana is not an island, you see. So if this process or this system were to be introduced or implemented just for Ghanaians, then probably would have no cause to worry. But this is within the larger scheme of international trade. And I do not want Ghana to be slipping on the World Bank Doing Business Index, as we've been doing over the past couple of years. So it's rather confounding that the Trade Ministry and the Finance Ministry, in these rather perilous times when revenues have become problematic, they would want to be experimenting with this system which is giving everybody problems. So my suggestions are that, one, they should halt the process, allow the existing schemes, the GCNet and WestBlue, to run for the rest of the year, for the simple reason that there's at least revenue assurance. Don't forget, we are garnering almost 33 million cedis a day from the port. Yeah. If all that we are hearing keeps going on, what it means is that our revenues may suffer, port revenues may suffer. And that doesn't look well for a country that has just gone to the IMF and the World Bank to ask for debt standstill, which is crying again for revenues. So for me, these are practical ideas that I suspect the presidency needs to grapple with. These are not times of politics or playing games. These are not scenarios where you want to say you want to do try and error. At least as you hold the process, do a proper valuation of the UNIPAS system. Nobody is saying UNIPAS should not be given a hearing, but they should be given a hearing based upon some serious introspection, some valuation that has been done.
If you say this, the next question has to do with the fact that, I mean, one of the things that they did indicate was, listen, they think that there are too many vendors, but they want to have just one vendor. And they think that going to the Koreans who have come in with this UNIPAS system.
So that was CEO of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, speaking earlier with my colleague Norvan Aboagye-Wiafe. Let's get some clarification on all that is happening. Joining us to help us understand where we are at with the implementation of Unipass is Deputy Finance Minister Kweku Kwateng. Appreciate your time this afternoon, sir. So let's begin with reports we were receiving earlier this week, which the reports were suggesting that freight forwarders are having to clear their goods manually because of challenges with the new system. Can you confirm for us if there were challenges? What are you hearing from the ground?
Well, thank you. To start with, let me lay the foundation. Government line with customs to
we're having challenges. We're having challenges hearing you. If you could reposition, let's see if we can get a clearer line to you. We have on the line the Deputy Finance Minister Kweku Kwateng. Let's resolve those issues with the network connection as we try to understand what's happening at our ports.
Hello.
Yes, let's try one more time. So you were explaining.
Yes, are you hearing me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good. I was making the point that to start with, government, in line with our customs automation program, has engaged a vendor to develop an end-to-end customs management system based on the Unipass technology. That system is going to be called Integrated Customs Management System, ICOMS for short. Now, what has made that necessary is that at the moment you have multiplicity of systems and vendors within Ghana's customs management space. Immediately, I can count about 6 of them, all deploying different systems. The trouble we have had with this kind of arrangement is that interoperability, the data from one system moving to another, because customs from the point of valuation up to the point of really taking the goods out of the customs area would need to rely on information from previous processes. Now, the difficulty in the interoperability of the different systems has undermined Ghana's customs automation program for a long time.
Right.
And we have had differences between the vendors who see themselves as competitors. So government took a decision that we want a single vendor to deploy an end-to-end customs management system. That's the foundation. And please, the suggestion somehow that our best bet is this multiplicity of vendors arrangement is not properly informed. It's being made by people who are not close to the processes. They have no idea, and I worry about making these statements without knowing what those of us close to the systems are experiencing. That's the first point.
So we have deployed this new system. Sorry to butt in. And so we've deployed this new system. Is it working?
We have just started deploying the system. Don't forget that the Unipass arrangement started in early 2018, 2 years ago. They've been building the system. They have been engaging customs. We have changed one thing after the other to ensure that the ICOMS developed out of the Unipass technology would serve the specific needs we have and would address the specific challenges we have as Ghana Customs. And so over the last 2 years, a lot has happened. Stress testing has been done, engagements have happened, we have gone back to change things, Customs have made several changes. Now we think we are ready to deploy.
Are we having challenges now?
We are very ready. We have not forgotten that there could be teething problems. If you are changing over to a new systems like this, you are bound to have some teething problems. We are ready for that. A call center has been set up, training manuals and videos to help freight forwarders who clear goods, who do customs business on behalf of importers and exporters have been provided. They have been uploaded onto the Ghana Customs website, and we think that we are ready to go.
Okay, sorry once again. So the challenge, I guess, for Imani is that we are going to have to lose revenue because we are wasting some time trying to fix these challenges that you point out. Are these also concerns that you have about revenue?
Well, I don't know what the basis of Imani is.
For instance, they say that they're wondering if you've been able to do any revenue projection analysis.
I mean, what is the basis of Imani's suggestion? I am sure if you ask Imani to give you a breakdown of the customs lines that have suffered as a result of the deployment of these new systems, especially with COVID-19, they are unable to tell you. When I read Imani's statement, I get a sense that it is more a project to defend the interest of the outgoing vendors at all costs against the national interest. Imani must back away from that. It is sometimes very sad to read, and you see that whoever wrote the article on behalf of Imani has no understanding of the fact that I'll be happy, and I've already advised our secretariat that I want to invite Imani for a meeting at which we can explain some of the things we're doing, and also let them understand the implications of some of the incorrect things they have been putting out. I like Imani. I think they do a wonderful job. But on this deployment of a new customs system, their position is very, very ill-informed, and I would advise that they get more information before they continue to push this agenda of defending a system that is clearly anti-Ghana customs, a multiplicity of systems that is not helping us in any way.
Okay.
To be the spokesperson for such an unhelpful arrangement, I think Imani must just stop that. But
all right.
On the issues about the deployment itself, the decision has been made that on the 28th of April, that is Tuesday, we will go live across the country.
Wow. Are we ready for that?
We have been starting from the 1st of April. We have been doing this in piecemeal. As I speak to you, airport has been deployed. That is after 2 years of testing and test runs. We have now decided to gradually deploy, and we have communicated 28 as the day on which we go full live. We are happy to look at issues that would arise, and if there's a need to bring any interventions in respect of the old vendors that would help us achieve our objectives, we are happy to do it. It's not an attitude.
Thank you so much.
Attitude against the outgoing vendors. I think they have done their bit. They have helped us in many ways. We wish them all the best. But at this point, government policy is to move to the new system.
Okay.
To continue to engage with them. If we need them to support us in any way, we will engage them to support the process. But
okay, thank you so much, Deputy Finance Minister Kweku Kwati. We'll have to leave it there. Important subject we want to explore subsequently, but as he said, on the 28th, they're hoping to go live across the country. So we'll see how that works. You're watching The Marketplace. Let's move on to another story for you. Government's challenge to local manufacturers for increased production of sanitizers and other materials for fighting COVID-19 has seen many comers into the fray. The result is influx of substandard products which are being put on the market without regulatory approval. There are reports of shortage of raw materials, with some producers resorting to starch and liquid soap for making sanitizers. Despite efforts by the Food and Drugs Authority to clamp down on lawbreakers, they continue to exploit the public and expose users to danger. Mr. Pierre has been speaking with the FDA and some producers.
Since the pandemic started here in Ghana, a lot of businesses switched from their normal trade to producing sanitizers. Even municipal assemblies also started training their constituents how to produce sanitizers. But one challenge, though, is the inferior products being churned out by some of these new entrants into the sanitizer business. But the already established ones are not excited about how this is affecting their business. From 2015, when she started producing sanitizer at her base in Kumasi, Bernie Sansa and her team have consistently supplied to her customers. However, over 2,000 pieces of the product are presently stuck in this factory. Patronage has declined due to the influx of substandard sanitizers on the market. She is worried beyond the impact on business growth. The trend is putting unsuspecting customers at risk.
Because now the message that comes, everybody should produce sanitizer, and so that's what they are doing. And so getting the raw material is not easy. Getting all the raw materials is not easy. So he sits down, he said, oh, let me use starch. Somebody has said that, oh, when you use starch, you can do it. Listen, you're using starch and you put in perfume. Some of the chemicals react to each other. And so you don't know, because somebody said, oh, when you use starch, you put a little alcohol in it, it's way. Oh, when you do liquid soap, you put alcohol into it, it becomes a sanitizer. It's wrong. That is not it. You are endangering people's life.
Madam Ansa has had to halt the procurement of 1,000 containers because her stock is not moving.
So my suppliers, it's a contract I have with them. I have stopped them from bringing the containers because one, we have about 20,000 worth of the 120 ml at the factory as I'm talking to you, because the goods are lying at the factory there, and so I can't.
We can't continue producing.
Yeah.
The FDA says it will go hard after persons who are exploiting the system. Nora Nakite-Labi is the principal regulatory officer in Ashanti region.
So this is approved. It's the same product. So then it's unfortunate that suddenly we are seeing the creeping trend whereby people are sitting somewhere and are formulating things and labeling them as hand sanitizers. And that is unacceptable. And those that are making them, the ones we are following up on them, and then we'll let the law take its course.
Meanwhile, Bernie Sansa and her colleagues want government to come to their aid. Prince Apia reporting.
And you're watching The Marketplace. We're taking a short break. We're back with some more. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Aboagye-Wiafe, has disclosed the country may need about 200,000 metric tons of warehousing capacity to achieve food security. The minister disclosed this when he addressed the media yesterday. In the same briefing, he challenged claims of food prices having spiked, explaining that checks on the ground show that food prices are very affordable thanks to government's Planting for Food and Jobs initiative. We'll delve into a discussion, but first take a listen to what he said.
Only 4 years ago, a bunch of plantain in Accra, you have to spend 40 Ghana cedis. Now, 3, 4 cedis, and I repeat, 3, 4, 5 cedis, you can get a bunch of plantain. It shows you clearly that we have come and reduced prices of food, even in the major cities like Accra, where if because of the substantial reduction in prices in the markets, most families who could not afford 1 meal a day can now afford 3 meals a day because food is so cheap. And we continue to ensure that Planting for Food and Jobs will deliver even more food to the areas of consumption to make life very easy.
Okay, that was the Great Minister there. Since that statement, there has been debate all over about whether or not food prices are indeed in the low. Well, joining me is Bismarck Notte, he's Programs Officer for the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana. Thanks for your time this afternoon. You are on the ground. What can you say about food prices over the last couple of months we have had to deal with this COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, hello, good afternoon, and good afternoon to your viewers. I think that it's important to put this whole discussion of the price of food into better perspective. You know, as a country, when it comes to agriculture and our farming, it's about an issue of seasonality. That's how we farm, and it's because we've not been able to address the basic process of production. Like, for instance, the availability of water for all year round farming, the availability of storage materials to store excess food, and the other production mechanisms that we need, the infrastructure and that technical know-how, where we ensure that for all year round we have food. And so because of this underlying problem, what happens is that there are periods of high or glut where there's so much food in the system, and then there are lean periods where you have food that you don't have access to a lot of food, and their prices go up.
Okay.
And so if you study our current strength as a country, we normally, because of our major season, the rainy season, we normally start our planting period from maybe around May, June, depending on where you find yourself, either in the north side of or the southern side. So normally around August, September, October, thereabout, that is where a lot of these food stuff are harvested. So during those periods, you realize that there's so much produced in the market, the prices go down. But normally at this period, around this time, from January, February, March, April, May, so when we start the planting season, these foods are scarce.
So you talk about seasonality, which is reflective of prices, and then I want to bring in the subject of storage of food, the warehousing system, which it appears we are lacking. What is the current challenge? How can we fix that?
No, you see, when it comes to post-harvest, and I don't only talk about warehousing, because the issue of post-harvest loss goes beyond warehousing. The fact that you are providing warehousing alone doesn't mean that you solve the post-harvest loss. There has to be a whole structure in place. When you talk of post-harvest loss, we're talking of the whole infrastructure, road network, because we always complain about how bad our farms are in terms of the road network from the farm to the marketplace. That's one part of it. In terms of distributing and marketing, after the produce are supplied and they are used in the warehouses, what is our system of distributing it to the market? How do we ensure that these goods move to the market? When it even comes to how goods are transported from the northern part of the country to the southern part, the security checkpoint, the number of days it spends on the road, even how it is packaged, all these things account for it. So the construction of warehousing is not the only issue to be addressed.
All right.
Mind you, if you construct warehouses, you are looking at most of it, and that has been our focus over the period. We are looking at the non-perishable foods. We are talking of the grains like the maize and the cereals and stuff.
We'll leave it here, Mr. Norte, because you're running out of time, but this is a conversation we need to finish. Thanks for your time this afternoon. We will revisit the subject later on. That's it for the Marketplace this afternoon. Thanks for watching. My name is Darryl Kwao.